Well, for many football fans across Louisiana, the Bayou Classic is part of their Thanksgiving Day tradition. After the holiday meal, many pack up and head to New Orleans for a weekend of football, music, and festivities. This year, the Bayou Classic celebrates its 50th anniversary, half a century of what's nicknamed the sibling rivalry between Grambling State University and Southern University. I sought out some of the legendary characters plus college presidents to explore why the Bayou Classic is a cultural force on and off the football field. On Thanksgiving Day, these families prepare a turkey while packing up the ice chest and fan gear for the annual Bayou Classic. The weekend following Thanksgiving, more than 250,000 fans descend on New Orleans for events leading up to the showdown at the Superdome between the Grambling Tigers and the Southern Jaguars.
This is an event that builds starting actually from the end of the event the year before.
The Bayou Classic is, one of the greatest rivalries in college football.
I would say the granddaddy of them all when you talk about classic. I think it's important. I think it's something that is needed, especially for Louisiana, but for Black college as a whole from a cultural standpoint.
On game day, the Bayou Classic airs on national television, reaching an estimated 4 to 5 million viewers, with an attendance in the Superdome of upwards of 70,000 fans.
They have estimated approximately a $50 million economic impact to the greater New Orleans area, and that's significant.
It has remarkable financial benefit to the city of New Orleans and obviously to the universities.
I'd always believed that you could play, that Southern and Grambling could play in any cow pasture or any place else in the state of Louisiana, and that as many people as could find their way there would actually come to see us play.
The crossover between students, coaches, and family members makes the Bayou Classic a sibling rivalry.
This is, one of the greatest rivalries in college football. But not only that, it is what I think is probably more of a sibling rivalry.
It's a family affair. And just as though my family is entwined within Grambling, I'm more than sure that many of the other Southernites' families are entwined with Grambling.
It's a family reunion because all of us have had, I went to Grambling, I had people that go to Southern. People who go to Southern have people that go to Grambling.
Grambling State President Rick Gallo attended the Bayou Classic as a child, played in the game as a member of the marching band, and now sits in the stands as head of the university. I love your story. Your connection to Grambling started as a child, going to the Grambling games. So the Bayou Classic is literally in your blood. Tell me about that.
Yeah, no, some of my earliest memories of Bayou Classic actually dates back to the old Tulane Stadium. So even before it moved to the Superdome, I can recall going there as a child. It's been a part of my life from the pretty much from the very beginning.
Festivities kick off Friday night with the legendary Battle of the Bands at the New Orleans Superdome.
So for the Battle of the Bands, Dr. Greggs and Conrad Hutchinson started it many years ago. And now today, the Battle of the Band is huge. When you talk about, some people just go to the Battle of the Band, don't even go to the game, because they know that it's all about what? The bands. And they get an experience like never before.
The two schools march in, all of the energy, and it's the musicianship that's so important.
It's a huge experience, and it's one that's really indescribable.
Dr. Nicole Roebuck, director of bands at Grambling State University, had no idea as a child fan of the band, it would be her destiny.
As a little girl, the age of about 4 or 5, I just watched the Grambling State University World Famed Tiger Marching Band. My Uncle Joe actually was assistant director of bands in the 80s. I had no clue at that time that little girl sitting at the bottom of the ladder would one day climb to the top of the ladder and lead the world famed Tiger Marching Band.
The Bayou Classic also has an altruistic side, raising funds for scholarships with balls and banquets attended by famous names.
The gala really honors our dignitaries, folks that have donated to the school. We always have a great musical artist.
Chaka Khan was amazing last year at the Foundation Gala. And now we have Maxwell this year, going to have it in a bigger venue.
And we have what's called the BizTech Challenge, where students from both universities, well, actually from Grambling Southern as well as Xavier and Dillard, participate. And it's a competition on business ideas that have incorporated technology into those ideas. So it's more than a football game, I can assure you.
Doug Williams, former NFL quarterback who played for Grambling in the first Bayou Classic, recounts the origins of the game.
We was fortunate, Southern and Grambling, to be honest with you, to have a Eddie Robinson and a College A. Nicholson back then. He was the SID, and Coach Robinson, they had a vision, and that vision worked out well. They saw a lot of the Power 5 schools who had big rivalries, big games, and the crowd and everything like that. And Grambling and Southern had been playing each other home and home.
All I have ever wanted to do was to give something back to our society. All I want to do is stand for something that's good for the American youth.
Doug returns to the Bayou Classic as a fan in the stands for its 50th year.
When you look at it realistic, you got to say it's gotten bigger, number one, because you got a TV audience. In 74, we didn't have a television. We just had, what was there and the people who's writing about it and things like that. But now you get a chance to see it. If you can't make it to the Bayou Classic, you get a chance to see it.
Alvin Washington heads a house divided.
Exactly. I have family members who are Gramblingites and family members who are Southernites. We generally get together with our school colors on. So the family members who went to Grambling, they'll have their Grambling stuff on. And the family members who went to Southern, they'll have their Southern stuff on.
Alvin starts football fandom early in his household.
And I've been trying to influence the grandkids, so I've been buying them Grambling stuff. And I have a granddaughter who's about 6 months old now, so I already got her one of those outfits with Grambling State University stuff on there.
Over the past 50 years, the Bayou Classic has morphed into much more than a football game between two rivalries. It's a cultural phenomenon and a beloved and celebrated tradition.
When you have the number of people that's been coming to the Bayou Classic, when you can put 85,000 people into a stand and the demand that we have for tickets, if we had 100,000 seats, we could sell 100,000 seats at the Bayou Classic.
This year is going to be one for the record books. It's going to be epic. And when it's all said and done, Grambling and Southern will both, be the beneficiaries of having this one-of-a-kind event.
This is going to be a great weekend. Again, 50 years of this game, nationally televised, bringing much attention to two programs that need to be seen.
This shared experience in one place in this fabulous event, I think means a lot, not just to the Jaguar Nation, but I think also the Tiger Nation too.
It's nothing like being a part of as a player and then as a coach and now as a spectator, man. I've seen all faces of it, and at the end of the day, it's still the same competitive mentality that you're going to have on the field, off the field, what have you. But when it's over with, hey, we had the Bayou Classic, and it was a good one, and we got a great crowd.